I always forget.
Yeah, so you guys just heard about like 10 minutes ago a band playing on there. That band was Godseyes. They're now joined. Oh my god, they're now with me in CR1. We're going to be talking about their band, their latest 2 singles, their upcoming music, and all of that stuff. But anyway, how about you guys introduce yourselves, tell us about what you play in the band, and kind of give a backstory of how you got here.
I'm Nick, I do vocals.
I'm Mike, I'm the drummer, I don't eat gravel.
I'm Brett, I play guitar badly.
I'm Adam, I play bass, and I also don't eat gravel.
Yeah, if you didn't hear that PSA, don't eat gravel. It's not good for you.
Just don't do it.
I mean, it's delicious, but just don't
Yeah,
eat it.
why do they gotta make it taste so good? That's
All the different
That's
flavors. But anyway, so how did this project begin? Who started it? And where you guys were talking about before with kind of like with me about the kind of band members coming in and out a bit. So yeah, how did you guys meet? And how did you progress through the years you were together?
You want me to? You got it? That's you, Brett.
I got it. Yeah, alright, I'm Brett again. I play guitar.
Not well.
Badly.
I am Brett. I am not a guitar player. But yeah, no, Godseyes started probably like 2 years ago. I was doing something with another friend of mine. We started playing music, and that's when I actually started picking up guitar and writing, and it was cool, but, because life gets in the way, things changed, and that's what started this journey, I asked Nick if he wanted to be a part of this with me, and he was more than happy to, and it just kind of started building from there. I've pretty much met everyone through playing in my old band, Nashville.
Okay.
Nick played drums in that. And, that's where I met Adam. He played in a band, Ornaments, which we used to play with quite often.
Why did you say it? You didn't have to say that.
That's how we met, bro.
You didn't have to say that.
And, yeah,
we just scrape Mike off the sidewalk.
Yeah. No, I actually.
Wait, how did you meet? I don't even know how you met Mike.
I don't know, Mike just.
Was it on the internet?
We probably met through Dillinger, like the compound or something.
No,
Okay.
I don't know how I met Mike. I think
It just
he
happened.
came up as a mutual friend, and in his profile picture, he had a Converge shirt on.
Yeah.
And instantly, I added him and started talking to him.
And now he's in our band.
And now he plays in our band.
You're like, hey, you're in like 3 bands. You want to be in a 4th?
Yeah.
Alright, fine.
So when you started Godseyes, did the initial vision for the sound kind of change throughout these years?
Well, initially, we all listen to different kinds of music. Initially, I just wanted to start writing something really in your face and aggressive, and even though we're not pissed off dudes, just something that sounded pissed off. And it from the start, it sounded pretty different than it does now. You know?
Yeah, I think it's definitely it's got a little more swagger now.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was only one song in the set that stuck around, right?
Yeah. When we started, I just wrote differently, and I got better.
Yeah.
And
Still bad.
Still bad,
Still
but
bad.
not good.
For your writing process, did you use any tools online, like YouTube or anything else to help you increase your skill, or was it just all practice?
I thought he was going to just say, did you use any tools like a screwdriver? Use any tools and on this memory?
No,
Go to
we're
town.
not Godspeed.
Yeah.
So, really, with the writing process, I just take influence from
He just
the bands
writes
that-
Brett's
tasty
great.
licks.
Yeah,
He's
Brett-
just he just gnars some
No,
this
gnars
is-
some
let me
shred.
break it down. Literally, this is what happens. Brett not even. He'll call me and he'll be like, "Yo, man, I got this riff," and then the next day we'll go in the room and then a song happens.
I got
and
this
that's
tasty
it.
gnar
Well,
I want
first
to
we
show
sniff
you.
the riff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
We sniff the riff, we taste it,
Or you just build off of
we
it.
check the
Yeah.
consistency.
It's usually like, maybe like a 0.3 seconds of a part, and it just kind of builds from there. It
Yeah, I think a lot of it is just jamming, right?
Yeah.
Like the stuff we've written since I joined, it's all just kind of gotten jammed
Playing in a
out.
live room and just jamming.
So when you guys finally came together and kind of finalized the lineup, did it take long for you guys to kind of figure each other out musically? Did you click? Kind of have that chemistry in writing?
What? Why are you looking at me like that?
No, yeah. We
Do
all.
you think
we-
I
we've
have
all
an
played with
answer
each
that
other.
you could deliver better than me?
We've all played with each other. Like me and Brett, we're in a band together for years, so we already had like some chemistry. And Adam is great. And
Yeah,
Mike
Yeah,
is
I'm,
great.
just,
Okay.
I'm all right.
Adam-
I have money and I can drive,
yeah.
and I have a bass and a pedal.
Adam
a
has like
Sam.
kind of just been in my various little other things.
We've been
throughout
in
the
and out of
years.
other projects. We've tried to get other things off the runway, but none of them really worked.
all
took
like
off.
little side things.
Yeah, a
So
bunch of different things.
Mm.
We used to try to have this project called Lunacy, which is awesome.
Yeah,
With
that
the three
was
of us,
fun.
me, Brett,
Yeah.
and Nick used to try to do that.
Yeah.
That was cool, and then we stopped, and then we tried something else, and then it stopped. And then you needed a bass player, and he asked me, and I said yes.
Yeah.
Brett and I will like get together sometimes just on our own, and like we're both really awkward, weird kind of dudes. And then when we're in the room alone jamming together, there's this weird tension. It's just palpable and delicious. But I think that awkwardness and that weirdness in the room is what helps us write the weird riffs and like the twangy stuff.
Yeah.
Because like we're trying to sculpt that
Yeah.
feeling into something.
All right, so let's talk about shows now. First, I wanted to bring up.
I thought you meant TV shows.
Yeah.
I was like,
I
yeah,
mean,
Game of
if
Thrones
you
is in
want-
April.
If
Friends.
you want to talk about TV shows or media, go right ahead. So, what shows have you been listening to? Because you're jumping right into the topic.
TV shows?
Yeah, let's just go right into it before we talk about your shows.
I've been watching Arrested Development on Netflix.
Mhm.
Yeah, my girlfriend watches that.
I watch Silent Hill walkthroughs. Of the worst kind of person.
Twitch live streams.
Yeah.
I watch a lot of like, I don't even watch TV that much, but when I do, it's either Friends
Yo,
or it's like old cheesy 80s
Why is that
horror
funny, Nick?
movies.
It's
Friends is
Seinfeld
awesome.
and Friends.
So no one told you what was...
Well, Adam, what do you watch?
I watch one show and it's called Game of Thrones, and when it's not that, I'm getting lost in rabbit holes on the internet for like the 8 hours of recreational time I have at home. I really don't watch TV except for the month of April sometimes.
Do you have cable?
Is the month
No,
of
I
April-
I don't have
enough
cable. I
cable.
don't have
No,
cable either.
I mean, I don't know. I
Honestly,
spend
you
a
can
lot
just
of time
watch
on the
anything
internet.
online.
Wait,
Yeah, I was gonna say, what do you watch?
TV
You
in the month
you
of
have like your show?
I'll only watch cable.
Recently,
in the
I
month of
finished Ozarks on Netflix.
Oh,
It's
okay,
kind
I
of
saw
breaking.
it.
It's kind of like Breaking Bad. It's just absolutely insane. Great show. If you guys never heard of it, definitely give it a watch. I can't think of his name, but he's in a lot of movies.
Ozark Man.
Yeah, Ozark Man. All right, so
The actual question.
the actual question: you guys held a suicide benefit show a couple of weeks ago at Shaker's Pub. I saw that you did one last year with, I think, SBC bookings.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to kind of make this kind of an annual thing?
I mean, I guess I'll handle that.
Go ahead, answer it, bro.
I mean, we do that as kind of like, I mean, it kind of spurred off my personal journey, you know, with struggling with that topic. It's been about 5 years now, you know, I struggled with like addiction and depression, and, you know, they don't mix well, and it, you know, I had a suicide attempt, but, you know, because of that, I met a bunch of other people that, you know, struggle, and it's a very important topic. It's not a joke, you know, it's not a meme online, you know, it's very important, and a lot more people struggle with it than we realize, and especially, like, anyone. It doesn't matter who you are, and that's kind of like why we do the shows, because, you know, what brought me out of that and helps me are like the people I met through the music scene. And, you know, there's a lot of people that struggle in the music scene, and it's not talked about enough, I guess. And
I think it's worth noting that, like, it's kind of become a thing with terrorist attacks and things of the sort, where people, you know, kind of
think the worst of things.
They say by route, you know, we need to focus more on mental health, but then they actually don't. You know, it's become really cliche and kind of like trendy to say that we want to focus on mental health, but at the end of the day, we just don't see it happening. And I think we've all at least been affected by it to some degree in this band. So.
Just starting that chain for other people to kind of do the same thing.
Exactly,
yeah, instead of just saying, oh, we need to pay attention to this, just by saying that you're doing something you're not. Like, for us, we feel that putting on a show every year and talking about it and inviting people like to it and having a place to, you know, meet other people, it's actually doing something on our part, you know.
Well, and you said it best. It's like the idea of, like, people saying, you know, someone get help, while they're holding a phone videotaping what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
No, you get help. Get the help.
So now let's talk about, off of that serious topic.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
Let's talk about the show you played in December, so where I discovered you guys. The current show, and Sentinels played on it, and Limbs, even though their vocalist wasn't at that show.
Oh, yeah.
But what's it like playing with those artists? You also played with Crafter and Years Apart a couple of weeks ago, too. What's it like watching those artists play, and do you kind of take any influence from them, whether it's like work ethic or what you bring on stage?
I think with the current show, that was just like, we were looking to get more shows, so we just hit up East Coast Collective and we're like, hey, can we play a show? And they just got us that show. And we didn't fit on the show at all, but it actually ended up being like one of the like shows we played to, like most people we've played to. So that was cool. But as far as like Years Apart and Crafter and those bands, we actually ended up meeting those guys. That was like the first time we met them at the show. And they were super cool, like very, very nice people and like really good bands, and just another group of guys doing something I think worth paying attention to. So.
Yeah, I mean, as far as, you know, the shows we've played, it's, you know, meeting everyone is the important part. You know, those bands are awesome dudes, you know, and you know, yeah, we're in the vein of heavy music, but we don't fit with a lot of what's popular, I guess, today.
I mean, I don't know, I think...
Not that it's not popular,
just
but
on Long Island right now.
Yeah.
We're playing on Long Island. Like, there's definitely like a handful of bands that fit in, I guess, our subgenre, but we just don't play any of the shows
I was
with
gonna
those
say, I
bands.
don't think we've played any shows with any bands that are like us.
Yeah.
So, but then when that happens at the same time, it's interesting to see how these other bands go about things.
To kind of bring back up the show in Shakers, the lineup that you had on there was really diverse, I saw.
We did that on purpose, though.
Shout to all one.
Yeah.
Yeah, we, the bands I played were good friends with, that, you know, they were all different styles of music, and, you know, we chose them carefully because I guess just to show that it doesn't matter who you are, what you're into, what music you listen to, anyone can struggle, and, you know, anyone can come together to fight a struggle like that. You know, it could be the guy ringing up your groceries struggling, or the businessman who's making $1 million a year, or just people like us who play music. You know, it doesn't matter who you are.
This is getting really serious again. eating gravel.
Yeah, Brett, stop with the gravel.
You guys stop with gravel.
Stop eating gravel.
But
Kick the habit.
I think it's kind of important, though, that like bands like you and bigger bands kind of bring these kind of mixed genre shows, especially to kind of broaden people's horizons. That's why my show I try to bring people from lighter rock to heavier rock, people heavier rock to lighter rock, and pretty much all around, whatever it may be. But I don't know if you guys saw, I think it was KX is some EDM producer. I have to look it up, but he started a tour which is happening this summer, and it has like bands like Memphis Mayfire, Our Last Night. Who else is on there? But anyway, they're doing this whole kind of like EDM / metal
That's cool.
lineup that's like kind of cross country, which I thought was really interesting, and just like the mix of those two genres is becoming a thing now. We kind of see that with kind of like emo rap and deathcore now. You're getting all these influences with kind of the electronic beats. If you guys ever heard of the band Victims, they use that old time. The local band Zume up in Brooklyn are starting to go that route with the trap beats and kind
Victims
of like
is
deathcore.
Chicago, right?
Somewhere in that area. I know they're southwest, I think. Or I'd have to look it up. I forget. Especially looking for a whole bunch of different artists. They're actually touring here March 4th, so like a couple weeks with Traders at their release show at Revolution. And I think, who else is playing on that show? Vile Tongue, I believe. And I have to look that up too. But yeah, I'll post all those shows up on Facebook if anyone's interested.
Godseyes band isn't playing.
I don't know. They're not that good. I don't know. But since we're still on the topic of shows, are there any local artists that you want to play with in 2019?
Yes, and it's a band called Bore, and they're releasing their songs actually
I think tomorrow.
Tomorrow. They said, I
Tomorrow.
think I saw a post that they're doing it. They're just like putting it all out on like at midnight tonight.
Oh, sweet.
Releasing, I think so. Don't quote me.
It's
on
gonna be
that,
a late night.
But they're a band, and they're all. All the individuals in that band are all good friends of ours, and we've all been in other bands with them and played with them in our other bands, and they're releasing music, and we're gonna be playing we're gonna be doing a lot of stuff with those guys. I hope so.
Couple other bands are like Johnny Booth. They're releasing a record at the end of the month, and
The vocalist did a guest vocal on our new EP, so
they're really cool dudes, and they write really awesome music. They have actually influenced what we do a lot. And probably another band would be like Wreath of Tongues.
yeah,
We love them. They're probably one of my favorite bands in general.
I want to shout out more of myself to Kill, because I just love them. Those are my boys.
Shout out
Shout out
the
Joe.
Eastern
Joe's
Condition.
man.
That's another
my
band.
other
Yo,
band.
shout out to Ornaments.
No, that's a dead band. That doesn't work like that.
Eastern Condition, Outer Body, Outer Body, Lucid Dreams, and Lucid Dreams. Check out our other bands.
No.
Yeah, do it.
Do it. So let's talk about your two singles, Suppress and Repress. You have it on Bandcamp. You released it last year. How long did it take for these songs to come together?
Not long.
Not long. Should I go into it?
No, I mean, Brett had riffs. The songs came together.
Yeah.
Pretty simple.
We sniffed the riffs.
Straightforward.
They tasted good.
Brett just shred some gnar and then we dump on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brett basically had those songs ready before the
okay.
band was even like a band.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't even have to sniff the riffs. We gave it a good whip.
Yeah. Yeah, no, Brett's like a riff machine. So he like had those songs ready, and then
Okay.
by the time we recorded that, after that, the band all came together. So
All right.
Yes.
So these next question will be specifically for him because it's lyrical explanations. So I picked a line from each song. So the first song, Suppress, I picked a line: "We speak repetition, unaware of the outcome. Hold your breath, hold your tongue."
That'd be you.
yeah, that'd be me. Well, yeah. So basically, that song is. I think we live in a day and age where people just say stuff to say stuff, and I think it's really stupid. And I think social media has a lot to do with it. So I think when I say we speak repetition, it's just people all repeating the next thing they heard and repeating the same thing over and over again because someone else said it. But it's also it's up for interpretation, so whatever you want it to be.
All right, so the next song, pre-press, I picked out the line, "One step closer to realizing all the time we wasted. How long will we keep up with this or keep falling behind?"
That's like a 2-part song. So suppress, repress. It was like I kind of wanted to like theme it around like the same thing. So it's like a part 1, part 2. But again, like I like leaving everything very open for interpretation because it could mean something to me, but what it means to me can mean completely nothing to you. So I would just rather someone apply it however.
So when you're
like.
writing the lyrics, do you try to create it as interpretive as possible instead of being like super straightforward with it?
I don't really like oh man, I'm gonna try to be so vague so that it can be interpreted. Like I think it's just like I know songs that have like I've related to could also like I found out what the songs are actually about. It's not anything that I've like applied it to in my life, but I think that's cool though. I think you should be able to apply it how you want, like sunscreen.
So you guys are still kind of
Rock on.
establishing your sound. So with the new material, what have you been experimenting with to try to finalize the sound where people say, "Hey, this is Godseyes"?
I mean, Godseyes is just
It's
my version of like early 2000s metalcore. I mean, that's
Okay.
just
I don't know. I think I think it's important for any band to just be genuine. Because
Yeah.
especially with people who listen to a lot of music, they can tell when you're not genuine, and they just won't
pass
give you
by it.
they just won't give you
Won't
the
give you
time of
time.
day. So I think what we're trying to do is we're just trying to be honest and just genuine. And if something comes across that we write that may not look that way, then we won't like it.
So another big part, especially with newer bands, is branding. So how are you guys going to go about branding yourselves to the Long Island music scene, whether it's just merch and how you show yourselves?
I mean, besides, the typical things, merch, Facebook, social media, really just the live shows, where we try to be as aggressive as possible because, I mean...
The more fun you have on stage, the more
Yeah.
energy you
we're
can
just trying
bring
to
out
play.
to
Yeah, we
the
just want to
audience.
have fun, and if we're not having fun, it's not worth it. Like, if you're not having fun doing what you're doing, and it becomes more of a job than a hobby or like a passion, then
Yeah, if you're more worried about what your T-shirt looks like, then it's a gimmick.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Well, like I think we're influenced a lot by bands who have really immersive live shows, like Dillinger.
Yeah,
Converge,
absolutely. Yeah.
I mean, going
Like-
forward, we're still fairly new and like playing with each other. So I'm sure, like, as we continue to play with each other, we'll probably pick up some other thing, like, for us to do live. I mean, we have a couple gimmicks that we do live that I think are awesome, and I
Yeah,
just think
no,
that
absolutely.
are funny and fun. But maybe in the future that I don't know. We'll see what else we can do to make our live shows more entertaining and just making us look like we're just having fun. 'Cause, I don't know. That reflects well with people. If you see a band that's just genuinely having a good time with each other, like that attracts you more to them.
Yep.
We're gonna wear masks and coveralls and gravel.
Go full slip.
we're gonna eat.
We've talked about wearing masks.
We're gonna eat
Definitely
gravel.
have.
We've had that conversation.
Oh my god.
Wear masks and eat gravel.
Just upside down thank you plastic bags. Thank you.
All right, well, I want to thank you guys for coming in, playing a little live performance to the audience, listening. How about you guys share where people can keep up to date with you guys, and after that, just give some future plans for 2019.
Instagram, Facebook.
Yeah, Facebook, Instagram.
We're on Apple Music and Spotify.
You could get our email from all of those things, and
You could find Mike walking around the streets
Yeah.
if you're trying
You
to
know-
gravel.
if you're eating gravel.
You'll
Mike-
find him like at like a King Cullen register holding milk, asking you about your band. Shout out to Shane Egan.
That is so amazing.
You can find Mike at the Starbucks by the Panera and Patchogue.
Yeah, there you
That's
go.
where
Yeah,
Mike
just
works. He'll
dox
make you a
this
latte.
guy.
Yeah.
You can find me doing surgery.
That's where he
on a
works.
Yeah,
Break
Don't
your
mess with him.
windshield, call
Mad
Adam.
surgery.
No,
Mad
dude.
grave.
Don't.
But
Don't call him.
I'm actually the guy that makes gravel.
Ooh.
So like,
for 2019, just
We have a release coming up. Why don't you
Yeah,
talk
we have
about
a-
that?
Yeah, we are shooting for
yeah. Right.
an April release for
Mm.
our next EP that we are recording with Frank Materatona over at Voodoo, and he's doing an incredible job with
The
it.
one and only.
He
Right?
Yes.
he is awesome. Every time we work with him a lot in like other projects, and he's our boy.
Yeah.
He's like the best person I've ever
So
worked
shout
with.
out to Frank.
Yeah, shout out
Buy
to
that
Frank.
dude a
and
cup of coffee.
go check out Voodoo Records if
I'll
you're
make
looking to get something recorded.
Yeah. So we're
It's a
going to
very,
be
very good
releasing
place.
that, and then, we're just
Shows will come.
shows
Yeah.
will come. We're just trying to do
Yeah.
it.
Just do, you know what? Since it's coming out in April, just do a split EP release show of Approach and Troy. Make that punk, a hardcore punk show.
Yeah,
There you go.
Could be a thing.
that's it. Could be a thing.
That could
I'm
be.
open. I'm open to just releasing splits forever. Like we don't even have to have like a real release.
Yeah.
Just release
speaking
one
of,
song here and
shout out to People's Temple. They just released the split. I think it was last month.
yeah, it's good. It's good music.
All right, well, everyone, make sure to check out Godseyes on Facebook, Spotify, Instagram, all of that stuff. And yeah, stay tuned for the rest of the show. We got about 27 minutes left, so I'm just going to be playing music for you guys. Yeah, so talk to you in a bit.
Don't eat gravel.
Don't eat gravel.
Thank you. We love you.